And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by. Hope the pants are off because we are here with the semifinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 33. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and I'm joined by the one who wants you to take off your pants, by the AsherBro. Oh.
Yeah, I said no such thing.
What are you talking about?
I'd never say that. That's crazy. That sounds like something you would say, though.
It does.
As spawning here in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is someone we're very familiar with for Team Gosu. This is the last King of the Sea. It is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient System, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hazard Esports. It is Rostok. And as we get into this semifinals match, a massive shout out to someone in the chat. To as I do scroll up, shout out to Mr. Billy Bilo. Mr. Billy, thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. We appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy your emotes. Hope you enjoy your replay packs. If you're interested in replay packs from the Sparkling Tuna Cup, we do give them out to subscribers.
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, MeomaikA going to be opening up with a pool first, as he does tend to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there may be people tuning in that aren't too familiar with MeomaikA, so you may be thinking, oh, that's a pool first, that's crazy. Is he going to be aggressive? Sometimes. MeomaikA, there's just something about him. In a lot of matchups, he does it against Terran as well. Pool first is just his go-to. He just wants to be safe and sound and just a little bit crazy like that.
Yeah, it leaves open a lot of options, so it's a good way to hide your play as well. Often he'll be going into a gas like this and just continuing to mine gas, and it could be pretty much anything from here. We've seen him go for mass muta, seen him go for very fast upgrades on lings, we've seen him go for massive Hydra busts as well, and sometimes he just plays standard, which is the weirdest of all.
Oh yeah, that's a rarity, but it does happen from time to time. It's crazy. So we'll see if that's what we get. As for now, we can only just assume, or we can just speculate, as MeomaikA is going to be working on that gas. We'll see what he's going to be spending it on. We'll see how much he does bank up, as for the most part, standard opener all around. We can see Rostok actually playing this out very safe, going for a very fast blind shield battery here. I say blind shield battery. He throws it down after seeing the pool first of his opponent.
Yeah, very early battery. So I think for a lot of European players as well, they have some idea that Meo's cheesy or weird, but I feel like they don't know exactly what that means with Meo. Like, it means something different to Meo than for another player to be cheesy. But I guess having that battery just means if it's a Bane Bust or anything like that, you are going to be safe.
100%. And I think you bring up a really good point, because Rostok is a player that doesn't compete too often in the Sparkling Tuna Cup. You know, he's been here maybe 3 times in total. So I also am curious how familiar he is with MeomaikA, right? I don't know if they play too often at all. So upon seeing the opener, he's just playing it out safe. I'm now concerned for Rostok, because MeomaikA has certain tendencies, and one of them is this: a very fast lair.
Yeah, okay, Lair's going to be going down. It looks like the Adept going to be ducking in, getting some nice damage as well, but it's not going to see the Lair.
Yeah, the Adept does go down, does get 2 drone kills and forces a couple of spores. As you were saying, with this lair, depending on how many gases are being taken, this could be for a very fast Hydra 10. This could even be for mutas. Meanwhile, across the map, Rostok going for a Stargate opener into a Void Ray.
Yeah, there you go. So Void Ray's going to be able to clear out this Overlord. The Overlord gets the scout. It sees the Void Ray, so really nice scout there. I think I might have just seen that Twilight Council as well, so Rostok may be a little bit careless there with the timing on that, but at the same time, we do see, yeah, Meo going up into that lair. I think he left those spores finished as well, so I guess he was preparing for possible oracles, but it's not going to be what comes across.
Yeah, exactly. And there it is. The Hydra Den is thrown down. So this is kind of the tried and true MeomaikA special for this matchup for ZvP, is that Hydra Rush. And as you're mentioning, MeomaikA did see the fast Twilight Council. This is a delayed third base out of Rostok. This is looking like Glaives. No, actually, he's going for very fast Blink.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Glaives as well, but there you go. Blink's going to be on the way, and this is a pretty offbeat, bit unusual, especially in this matchup, and I feel like it's going to be I don't love it versus Ling Hydra.
Yeah.
I think he could be in quite a bit of trouble here,
Yeah.
especially if the Ling Hydra hits just before Blink finishes.
I agree. I think if he had gone for a fast Glaive Adepts and if this third base had been basically a fake out, Rostok may have just won. Like, we've seen Adept timings pull MeomaikA apart when he goes Ling Hydra like this. Like, Adepts, they love to face off against Mass Ling and Mass Hydra. Speaking of Hydras have been confirmed, Rostok is now aware he gets a lot of damage done. He gets a scout off, but with the tech that he has available to him, how well can he do?
Yeah, the Hydras are revealed, and also decent amount of drone damage. Rostok's gotten quite a few drones, and Mio's kind of gotten a few himself as well, letting those spores finish up. But I'm a little worried for Rostok here. I don't think that he should try to hold the third, to be honest.
Yeah, it may be a wiser choice to give up on the third base, but we can see he's throwing down cannons and shield batteries. It looks like he wants to try to make this defense, but I feel like that's exactly what MeomaikA wants. MeomaikA wants you to expose yourself to try to hold on to this third base, and he's going to be coming at you with Mass Ling Hydra. Even a Baneling Nest is thrown down behind this. I don't think he needs it, but he will have it available.
Yeah, it's kind of almost a bait. Like, Mio always has way more units than makes any sense for him to have, and if you defend it as if it's just a pressure, he's going to kill all of your army.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's about to happen. He gets a full surround. We have an overcharge, but at the same time, there's just so much DPS with these Hydras. The cannon goes down, the shield battery is exposed, and with the death of that shield battery, we can see MeomaikA just overwhelm the third.
Yeah, absolutely insane. He just ignores the shield battery overcharge, blasts through these units. I mean, the Blink's going to be coming in handy there. It means the Stalkers get out, but we lost a lot of units defending a third that was going to be going down anyway, and he is still in trouble here as Mio pushing forward into the natural.
Yeah, I mean, Rostok did at least preserve his Stalker count. He was able to blink them up into the main base, which was really cute. But alas, he still can't really take a head-on engagement here, as we can see gateways going down. MeomaikA busts into the natural base as well. These Hydras, they just do so much damage.
Yeah, the battery is a span. GG is called, and MeomaikA getting it done in a fashion that only he can.
GG, well played. Mio will take game number 1, and Rostok, if he didn't know who MeomaikA was before, now he has a better idea. Now he's experienced MeomaikA firsthand.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was off. I think it was 45 drones. So yeah, you don't really get to face that too much.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of to touch on kind of what we were talking about when it came to MeomaikA's play style and how he wants you to expand, he wants you to, expose yourself in a way. Last night we casted MeomaikA versus Nice. We casted Grand Platypus Open, of course, myself and Yaku, and we saw Nice have a very different approach. He actually stayed on 2 bases a lot longer, not for an all-in, just really delayed third. And MeomaikA was blindly going for this style, going for like Ling Hydra. He showed up, there was no third base. And MeomaikA's like, oh, okay, I'll just leave. I'll just leave, and Nice would come out ahead. It's some of these like adaptations that you have to do here when you go up against a player like MeomaikA.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty smart way to approach it, and we'll have to see now that Rostok knows what he's dealing with. Is that going to be how he adjusts? I mean, there's a few different ways that he could adjust, and I could potentially see, maybe Glaives and sitting back like that.
Yeah, that definitely can work out as well. The other thing that we should also mention, though, is that MeomaikA, he isn't a one-trick pony, right? It's like, sure, he loves his Ling Hydra timings, and he does flaunt them whenever he can, but he doesn't rely on them. He definitely has other playstyles available, and I'm sure he's willing to mix it up here in a best of 3. So hopefully Rostok is able to keep up and try and piece together what MeomaikA is up to.
Yeah, exactly. As we're going to be having a bit of a different map. It's going to be Babylon, a map that I think is a bit nicer defensively than that last map. But I mean, Mio, he can make it work anywhere, anytime. And here he is spawning at the top left-hand corner of Babylon. It is the Vietnamese Zerg himself. This is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hazard Esports. It is Rostok. Here we go. Once again, I imagine we're going to be seeing a pull first from MeomaikA, but how will Rostok adapt here? Even in the last game, we should probably mention as well that he didn't have the most standard opener either. Like, going for a really fast Twilight Council into a really fast Blink was very out of the norm as well. Something that we're not, or at least I'm not used to seeing.
Yeah, it felt pretty greedy in some ways. I feel like it's a opening that relies a lot on getting a bit of momentum across the map with that slightly earlier Blink timing. And I do feel like Blinkstalkers in particular really not that great defensively.
Yeah, they really are not. So yeah, kind of a really peculiar way to open up there from our Protoss player. We'll see if he does something similar. As he gets across the map, he is going to force the unnatural natural here out of MeomaikA. MeomaikA actually going for a, not just a pull first, but with a much faster gas as well.
Yeah, it's a cute little block, and it's going to cause some inefficiencies in Mio's build, especially with him coming back to revisit this pylon block. But no, he does get the base down at the natural. We'll be starting up a few lings as well, just to start putting some pressure across the map. But I feel like this is the kind of thing where against any other player, you're like, oh yeah, I got a nice delay. I caused some inefficiency in the build. I'm going to be ahead here. Against Mio, I don't know why. It just doesn't really seem to matter.
He likes it, Poppy. He likes it when you block him. MeomaikA's used to it. He just thrives off of it, and yeah, that's why, like, it's just such a weird game state to be in. You know, he just flows with what you throw at him, especially in the early game. The first Lings are already coming out. Gonna be applying pressure here. The Adept is on the way. Shield battery as well, but the Lings are gonna get here in time to avoid the Adept, and they can go straight into the main base. They can look for some probe damage.
Yeah, on this slightly shorter map, the Ling's just going straight across, and they will be looking to put some damage on these probes. Rostok not quite getting the drill through there. He's going to be losing 2 probes, and 2 probes for 4 Lings. Fantastic trade for the Zerg here.
Oh yeah, well worth it for MeomaikA to get those 2 worker kills back at home. He's droning happily. He's getting link speed. He is staying in gas. So with that, he can get into a faster lair once again. Oh boy, and yeah, Rostok for the time being is in the dark. We saw last game, though, he was actually doing a lot of economic damage. I want to say that he killed like 6 or 7 drones with just Adept harass, so it was very impressive what he was able to get done.
Yeah, that's right. And 2 Adepts going to be coming across the map now here as well, so just adding to that aggression. Looks like he's going to be checking for thirds first, but I'd love to see him commit to this because Mio really doesn't have that much here to deal with this.
He really does not. His Lings were thrown away earlier. We do get eyes on the morphing in lair at the natural. We commit to the shade. Drones are going to be going down. Boys are being pulled here. 2 drones, not too bad, but it looks like Lings come out just in time to shut down this second Adept.
Yeah, 2 drones going down. A second Adept is going to be pushed back, but it's not going to be killed. We have a lot more Lings coming out for Mio, though, so he is really flooding Lings now.
And the lair, I was really curious what it was for, because we only have 1 gas geyser. It is for Overlord speed. It looks like he may be setting up for a queen drop.
Yeah, maybe Lingnitus or something like that.
Could be Lingnitus as well. Meanwhile, we have an Overlord on the way. It is going to be quite useful defensively back at home, but Rostok still doesn't quite know what he's up against. He saw the lair timing, sure, but there it is. The Nidus is on the way.
Yeah, Nidus goes down, and we're not going to be seeing too many more drones coming from here. It is going to be a Lingnitus. MeomaikA recognizing that Rostok was a little bit greedy there, pretty much just getting the 1 Void Ray and then going straight into the Twilight. He has very few units. I think this is going to be extremely effective.
Yeah, exactly. We can see that the Void Ray is hunting down Overlords, and it is going to eventually, or may even, no, it barely does see the Overseer, and it looks like he will be able to deny this this Overseer at least from getting high ground vision. But we can just Nidus with the army. You know, we can just Nidus here at the front door anyway.
I think this Overseer lives. Oh, maybe not. He pulls it back the other way. Looks like it will be going down, but we do have Overlord speed, so we can potentially send out some more. Or yeah, like you were saying, just Nidus at the front.
Yeah, we'll see what he goes for. Meanwhile, he actually, MeomaikA actually canceled Overlord speed. It was on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like a quarter way done. Meanwhile, he Nidus is on the other side of the wall.
Interesting. I don't think this works, but it's cute.
It's going to be focused now. The Nidus is going to be denied. And meanwhile, MeomaikA, he's droning behind this. Sure, he's going to have a lot of pressure and aggression with the Lings and with the Queens, but he's expanding, like he's transitioning.
Say denied us.
Denied us?
Got denied. Denied us.
He just killed his own pro.
Yeah, I'll show him.
Did I say denitis? I said denitis.
Denitis, yeah.
Yeah.
You
How
see,
you been, Asher?
MeomaikA kind of taking his time with this one. He's just going to be spreading a little bit of creep. Doesn't really have that much energy for transfusers. Looks like he's just going to be, just making things weird, stopping that third from coming up anytime soon. And not a bad play. I don't think there's any rush for him to try to break this natural.
There isn't. There definitely isn't. He's just spreading creep to deny the third, as you were saying. He's just droning up, saturating his own third base. And yeah, really, it's going to be on Rostok to break out from this contain. And what does he have to break out? That's the question. As he didn't go for Blink, he's going for Charge. Immortal production underway. We have a Templar Archives for Archons. Like, he's mustering up a pretty hefty army.
Yeah, looks like he is going to be going for a bit of a two-base timing here. Does have the Archons, have the Immortals as well. Really nice force fields here. Going to be catching out 3 Queens and forcing MeomaikA to go for a pretty bad fight. But, man, Meo making magic happen. He takes out one of the Archons. Will he get the second Archon? He will not. And that is going to be trouble.
Yeah, and here we go. Rostok is pushing out across that, cleaned up the army, and MeomaikA, what does he have left to work with? He does have a Roach Warrant, so Roaches are going to be on the way. They are slow Roaches. Bear that in mind as well, so a little bit less micro potential available here for MeomaikA as he's in a lot of trouble. Rostok coming in with a 2-base all-in.
They are slow, but look how fast they can get from the natural to the third.
They can, yeah. Oh, there we go. The Queens, they do pop out. Boys are being pulled as well. We do have a couple of Biles. They're going to be connecting with the Sentries.
Oh, big Biles taking out the Sentries here, but the Immortals, they are the real problems here. 23 drones have gone down. GG is called. Rostok just tears through Meo.
GG, well played. MeomaikA, he pokes the bear, and Rostok comes out swinging with his 2-base all-in. We have an ace match.
There we go. Ace match is here, and it's going to be very exciting because we saw 2 very one-sided games for each side. So I have no idea what to expect in this third one.
Oh yeah, I have no idea either, as we are getting into game 3, and as we do, massive shout out to a lovely Terran player in the chat. Thank you so much. A shout out to Ginio for giving us a raid of 35. So thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. One of the 3 bears, Jinyu.
Yeah.
Fan of him at the channel.
One of the 3 Korean bears. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Gracias. Oh. Phone some of your Korean, Asher. What do you got?
I don't have any Korean.
Okay. You're like, Shiva.
Yeah. No, I need to meet a Korean and get them to teach me all the things that I shouldn't say.
Oh, no.
It'll happen.
And then you're gonna start laddering on the Korean server more often. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. You're like, why do you have a Korean keyboard? Don't worry about it.
As we are getting into the ace match, gonna be taking place on Royal Blood. For the people that are just tuning in now, this is the semi-finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. This is our open tournament, a tournament that we do host here on a bi-weekly basis. It is open to all regions, so if you're still there, Jinio, if you do want to compete in this tournament, then you can also do so if you sign up. It's open.
Yeah, let's jump in. We'll put you in the grand final.
Oh. Yeah, you would, for the Terrans.
Yeah, of course. It's the only way they're going to get there.
Oh my god. Nick Rack won last week. What are you talking about?
Spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map. It is the Vietnamese Zerg 4 team Gosu. This is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have as opponent, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player representing Hazard Esports. It is Rostok. We go, the ace match, one final game. I guess as you did mention as well, these past 2 games, they've been they've just been very eventful here, with MeomaikA having a pretty one-sided game 1, and in game number 2, Rostok really taking a different approach here, staying on 2 bases, being very defensive, and kind of exploding out of control towards the end of game 2.
Yeah, definitely. He really mixed things up there, and it turned out quite nicely for him. I will say it was pretty crazy of MeomaikA to be going for a Nidus on Babylon of all maps, just because the main's so small and there's the ramp at the front. There's just not that many places where you can get a Nidus up. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate for him. He was mixing things up and it didn't work out. So this time we're actually seeing a hatch first.
Oh my god, he's crazy.
He is, yeah. He's lost his mind.
It's a hatch gas pool, Poppy. What does this mean?
New meta. Been watching several replays.
Oh my god, MeomaikA is trying to look normal. As you were mentioning, the most standard of openers here from MeomaikA, which is not normal to see from him. So we'll see what this does unfold into. I do think it's wise of him to mix this up mix this into a series, especially after being so aggressive initially. This could lead into at least a normal opener to the series or to this game.
Yeah, at least so far. Maybe he's just realizing that he's gotten his point across, that he's going to be aggressive and he's going to be weird, and potentially he could get an overreaction from not doing it too much of anything. But yeah, it looks like we just have a super standard game, which is bizarre.
Yeah, third base even taken at a standard time as well from MeomaikA. Now, what is not standard is that after getting link speed, he's still in gas. He still is mining gas, so this can still lead into a very fast lair. I imagine that he wants to go into fast hydras again. They worked in game 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get into them in game 2. That's right, game 2.
Yeah, that's his tradition, of course.
Yeah. As across the map, Rostok does go for a Stargate opener once every game so far. I wonder if this is a Meo thing or if he just enjoys going for this kind of opener, but every game he has gone for the Void Ray.
Yeah, I think it can be just a stylistic thing. I feel like some Protosses just prefer to have that Void Ray to start off, just to keep their opponent in the dark, clear out some pesky overlords that might be seeing move out times and things like that. And I do think that, Meo does make a lot of hard reads based on what he sees, so the less you can show him, the less likely you are to get into some really weird spots.
Yeah, exactly, as they do kind of force this really weird scenario here where the Zerg player has very minimal vision and very minimal map presence because of that Void Ray. We can see him hunting down overlords. Meanwhile, 3 drones go down across the map, and the Adepts, they're not done. They're looking for even more damage.
Yeah, just going to be jumping back on in. Good focus fire here. And 2 more drones going to be going down. So Rostok just continues to get some great damage with those Adepts, but Meo doesn't really seem to care. I mean, there's not too much urgency in getting any spore tricks or anything like that. And okay, going to be going into a Spire off a pretty low gas count. This is weird.
Yeah, so this was a fast lair once again. Only 2 gases. I assume this would be for a Hydroden for a second time this series, but no, we go for the Spire instead for very fast mutas. So far unscattered. We can see Rostok also going for his own peculiar opener. Before he even threw down the third base, he did have his transition. Twilight Council, a Forge, and a Templar Archives.
Yeah, looking like he's going to be putting on a bit of a pressure here with Charge and with Archons. This could be really interesting. I feel like this probably turns into a base trade.
Yeah, this could definitely turn into a base trade. Like, I feel like the Muta army of MeomaikA, depending on how much he invests into it, is going to have a hard time dealing with the Archons. But before that happens, MeomaikA is cutting workers here at 42. He's making a lot of lings, and they are moving out, or they're getting ready to move out across the map.
Yeah, it's just going to be pure Ling Muta and with no upgrades either. This is kind of all in a weird way.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. Lings are rocking up. Shield battery isn't done yet. This third base is in a lot of danger. The wall is not a wall, and Rostok, he cannot hold on to this third.
Yeah, huge commitment. The third has to be given up. The mutas, just 5 mutas going to be on the way now as well. The Void Ray is going to come back and do what it can, but there is no way that he can stop this third from going down.
Yeah, exactly. And so far the damage has been done. MeomaikA is squeezing out a couple of drones behind this as well as, oh my god, look at the defense here for Rostok.
Yeah, massive commitment to blocking up this natural here. You can see Rostok just doesn't have that many units, so it makes sense. But Meo behind this, as soon as he sees that big round of drones, Hydra down.
Yeah. The Mutas reveal themselves. They're going to hunt down the Void Ray. They're forcing Phoenixes out of his opponent. But as you mentioned, we only have 5 Mutas. We are not making any more from this point. We had +1 range on the way. Sorry, air attack for the Mutas. But that was cancelled, and we are hard switching into Hydras instead.
Yeah, 5 Mutas, kind of always a great play. That is your magic number for starting to DPS these probes through shield batteries and whatnot. But yeah, it looks like it is going to be pretty clean reaction coming out from Rostok, and Meo's just going to be using these now to try to delay a third from being taken.
Yeah, he does contain Rostok to 2 bases a little bit longer. The Mutas, they come back in. They get a snipe on that probe before they do be forced away. And Rostok is in the dark right now. He doesn't quite know if we have continued Mutas or not.
Yeah, it's kind of genius. There's going to be a lot of Archons coming out to try to deal with these Mutas, just because Rostok needs something that's low supply, that's very efficient at dealing with these Mutas. But Meo's just massing Hydras, and Hydras shred Archons once they get into high enough numbers.
Exactly, the Archons, they just can't really deal with these Mutas, especially without too much to support on the ground, as MeomaikA has droned up to 3 base saturation, 62 drones, plenty of drones here for MeomaikA to sustain this kind of army. And this follow-up Hydra push, it's going to catch Rostok unprepared, unawares.
Yeah, I really don't think Rostok can have enough to deal with this. I really don't know what he could have done or what he can do to prepare for this. I feel like there's just way too many cannons that have gone down in the main and natural, and Meo's really faked him out here.
Yeah, he really has. Adepts are shading on in, and it looks like Rostok finally gets eyes on some of these Hydras. Not all of them, but even a couple of Hydras is a bit of a question mark, right? He's like, wait, what? I thought you were making Mutas. What's going on? I guess not. And now he needs Zealots more than anything. More Zealots, more Archons, more of a ground-based army, and he just doesn't really have too much to work with.
Yeah, what will be the answer here for Rostok is he's going to come out and try to meet this in the middle of the map here, but I feel like he does need definitely those shield batteries to fall back on. He's going to at least try to make it difficult to break down these rocks, but Meo, he does not care at all. He's going to be running straight on in there, and this shield battery, it is a little bit exposed here, but look at that Archon, it's just not dying. First one goes down. Well,
first one, second one goes down. There's only 2 remaining, and there's nothing else to support those Archons. The Zealots absolutely get annihilated. The shield battery overcharge is going to run out, and the third base is going to go down for a second time.
The DPS of this mass Hydra is just out of control, and those Archons with the shield battery, that was meant to be the answer, but the Hydras, it is just too much here. I don't really see an answer. I mean, he does have a lot of cannons to fall back to, but Meo can just sit out and stop him from ever getting a third.
Exactly. Meo, he doesn't have to break the natural. Not yet. He can maybe back off, reinforce with things, maybe some Banelings as well. We can see he wants a little bit more damage. He gets the Cyber Core, and yeah, he's pushing on forward even further here, even depowering some of these shield batteries.
Yeah, AsherBro is going to be going down. It looks like that Immortal getting depowered just before it can come out. Archon goes down as well, as will the last few of these units. G is called, and MeomaikA takes the series.
GG, well played. MeomaikA, with all these twists and turns, does come out on top. He does advance on to the grand finals.
There's some big brain gaming going on there. Really sent Rostok for a loop with that. What looks like what was going to be a massive commitment to laying at Muta, and then only making the 5 and going for a much stronger timing.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the MeomaikA that I know and love, right? He does this quite often, even in some of the other matchups, even in ZvP as well, where he's willing to show one thing, and then if it gets scattered or once he reveals it, he can just switch into something else as well, just work with this misinformation or just like hidden information here from his opponent. And yeah, really well done by MeomaikA. Is going to be our first finalist this week.
Yeah, GG, first finalist going through, and MeomaikA will be awaiting the winner of our other semi-final, and that is going to be Damaga versus Night Phoenix.
Yes, and now we are heading over to the land of Europa. We're heading over to the European server here for our next semi-finals match, for our next ZvP.